Raymond Coffee movie. I watched Tiger King.
Was Tiger King actually good or is it overhyped?
No, it was good. It was white people doing white people shit to the max. It was really good. It was. I'm not gonna say it was really good. It was entertaining to see white people whiting against each other.
White people whiting against each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was white people whiting against each other. It was like maybe one person of some color in the whole thing.
The Asian one?
Yeah, the Asian trans man.
I think that's right because I remember on Twitter people were mad that they kept misgendering the person.
They did that a couple of times. That's why I was confused at first. I'm like, okay, so is she? Because it was like, yeah, she's hurt pretty bad, and then it was he, and I'm like, what the hell? But I don't think it was ever like made known to the viewer that that person was trans or that they had a preference of pronoun. Is that pronoun?
You're the one that does the homeschooling. You know way better than I would.
Whatever. They were the one that they didn't really like saying, oh, you know what I mean? They prefer this or they prefer that. So, but it was white people whiting and Carol Baskins riding around on her bike with fucking flats with socks, which was really bothering me.
Well, what if she had fucked up feet? You want to see that?
Flats, as in the whole shoes, the whole foot was covered.
Mm-hmm.
And then she have a regular ass sock on with animal print.
I mean, she's a
No.
No.
No. No. And, like, I don't think she had, and there was not one picture that I seen or one scene of her where she had on a regular shoe that was supposed, or a regular footwear that was supposed to have a sock in it. You don't supposed to wear regular ass socks with no damn leopard print flat. You don't do that. And she just was out here in these streets riding her bike. Like, it was just. There was one picture that I seen.
Picture time, picture time.
What was her name? Carol Baskins.
The one who may have allegedly killed her husband with a tiger?
She did it.
Allegedly.
She did. She did it. We know she did it. Fed that nigga to a tiger, took his money, and then married Howard, that little sheep ass motherfucker. We know she did it.
Why he gotta be a sheep ass mofo?
Bruh, there's in one of the episodes, they showed him a picture. He was dressed as a cat, and she was standing over him holding a leaf. Matter of fact, can you see that? I don't know what the caption says, but that's the picture. And she's holding the leash. They done cropped it down some.
I feel a little disturbed by what I just saw.
You should. The whole thing was disturbing. I hate to say it, but Joe was probably the. You know what? Joe was more acceptable than the other two because Joe owned his weird shit. The other two was just like, oh no, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to save. And fucking Doc Ansel. Did you watch it at all?
I just heard about it.
Yeah, it was a bunch of white people whiting, honey. Doc Ansel, this dude, he run a whole cult. Like, talking about, yeah, the girls, they come when they're about 17, like 17, 18, they come and they stay on a what do you call it? Reservation, whatever, like their little campus.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come and they stay, and they don't leave. They don't leave. They all want to stay. And it's just like he start naming like, yeah, this person's been here for 20 years. This person's been here for 16 years. This person's been here, and then all of them had started when they was like 17. Little pervert.
Sounds like R. Kelly's house.
Yeah, and then one lady, she was like, yeah, you know, one lady who stopped, you know, working with them or whatever. Excuse me. She was saying how And she basically was dropping all the tea on them. And she was saying how he likes them virgins or close to virgins.
What is close to virgin?
I don't know. I guess maybe one sex partner or maybe some anal play. That's why that when I hear close to virgin, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe the front hasn't been tampered with, but the back door is a little loose.
Like a good Catholic girl.
White people whiting.
No, because there's black Catholics too.
Do they take it up the butt?
I don't know. Next time I talk to my boss, I'll ask if her friends did that.
Oh God! You always bringing work into inappropriateness. Like I'm concerned.
Why?
Forgive me. Are we posting video with this? Forgive me if so, because
I could just take the audio.
Yeah, I mean I don't care either way, but I've been in my comfort. Just let me know if my nipples they start getting a little hard and they uneven because I'm not wearing a real bra. It's a sports bra. So sometimes my nipples be a little cockeyed.
Don't they give better support than a regular bra, though?
What?
Don't they give better support than a regular bra, though?
No, that's the fault. They give you one big uniboob for the most part. And I don't really be caring for it because when you get the uniboob, I do this a lot, try to separate the titties so that the titty skin don't, whatever. You don't have that problem, so don't worry about it. Don't concern yourself with things that don't concern you.
As long as I don't gain 10, 20 pounds, I don't have that issue.
I mean, keep it at an A cup, bro. Keep it at an A cup.
So, let's...
I need a bang.
A bang?
I need a bang.
So, get into the good doctor and we're going through all this. You did not see the last episode, right?
I haven't seen maybe the last 2 episodes. I don't know what's going on.
So you didn't see any of the earthquake episodes?
No.
So you want me to spoil it for you?
By all means. So I look like a cone head. You remember that movie?
I barely do because it was a little bit before my time.
You know. This childhood really must have sucked, bro. It had to have. You ain't see Coneheads?
I know what it is. It's an SNL skit that became a movie.
Of course you know the technicalities of it. Why wouldn't you know that?
It doesn't look funny.
Yeah, I can give you the stats. It came out in such and such year. Well, what's it about? It's about such and such. Did you see it? No, I haven't seen it.
That's what I do.
Are you in your new apartment? It's like your little
I'm showing you the part that's not like trashy right now.
I mean, I can't see trash. I see maybe like some disinfectant wipes in a cup.
Yeah, I've been my work computer.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's a cute little workspace. Have you been quarantining?
I go out to take my mom to and from work so I don't get like stir crazy.
That's not bad.
Kind of need.
Are you far from your mom's house? Is it a long ride?
10, 20 minutes. Depending if I'm on CP time.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be too bad because it's not like it's a bunch of people out there.
No, people still walking around now. Could hit a dog accidentally.
I guess. If it's one of them small pocketbook rats, it deserves to get hit.
What you got against the tiny pocketbook dogs?
Because they are subjectable to fucking violence. I literally was just on Twitter today, and there was this girl, it was this girl and this guy in New York, and they had got into an argument. And I don't know what was going on. Like, she was saying something, and I'll punch you in your face or something like that. And I don't know if she hit him or something. Something happened, but I think she hit him and it took off running. And he, instead of trying to reach her, he just ran up and kicked the shit out of her dog. And that hurt my heart. That hurt my heart. Now, had she had a big ass dog, he wouldn't have been able to do that. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I don't think pocketbook rats are necessary.
Pocketbook rats. Oh my god.
I didn't need to see that, bro. I didn't need to see. I mean, the little motherfucker, like, he, like, flipped over. It was like a full, complete, like, ass over head flip. And it bothered me. It hurt my heart. I almost went and pet my dog. Till I realized that nigga get on my nerves, too.
No boy, it pays to be around later. Getting his pets in.
This nigga, he been so needy lately. His love language is physical touch, and that shit be annoying.
Hasn't he gotten his fill since all y'all mostly home all day?
No! You would think this nigga, oh, y'all home, but I want to be close. I don't want you to just be home. I want you to be home, and I want you to put your hand on my paw. Like, bro, move. I don't want to do that. He got this thing where, like, if I'm walking, if I'm walking and he wants to play, he'll run up behind me and, like, the back of your knee. Mm-hmm. He'll, like, kick that. Like, he'll nudge that. So, like, a bitch be about to almost break her fucking neck. I can't.
I know. I saw the video of you losing a sock.
And that's another thing, like, now he knows his body weight, so he'll use it to block something. Like, if I'm trying to go downstairs, maybe if I'm going to the basement to smoke, he'll, like, corner me. Like, I'll be in a corner or something, mm-hmm. like in the corner of the cabinets, and, like, he'll block me in there. And, like, anytime I try to move, like, he'll keep leaning his body weight on me, or he'll, like, completely just, like, lay out over my feet to where I can't, like, I gotta lift up, push him off. It'd just be too much, bruh. Just be too much, just so that he could have some attention. Like, it's literally shit that he does. Like, you would think, yo, you're a fucking human person. Like, if I'm in the living room and I'm not showing him no attention, I'll hear a noise, and then I'll look in the hallway. This nigga will bring something off of the dresser in the little AJ's play area. He'll drag that into the hallway and just sit there. Like, I'm not gonna bite it. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna put it here so you know I want your attention. Bro, I'm not doing this shit with you, bro. You're gonna have to leave. You're gonna have to go outside. Then he don't wanna go outside. He wanna be where you are.
What kind of dog don't wanna go out and rip and play?
Like, if I'm taking him out to, like, go into the yard and have, like, a playtime, he's okay. He'll do that for a little while, go, sniff whatever. But if I'm just like, yo, go sit on the porch for a minute, like, you in the way. No, I don't want to sit on the porch. You coming on the porch too? Like, he give me that type of look. Like, matter of fact, let me show you this picture. Because I told you, we watched Candyman recently. So,
was it good?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I thought you wasn't into horror movies, though. Look at the baby.
I sent that to AJ and I put "Be My Victim." Then we look like the nigga from Candyman. But that's him. As soon as you put him on the porch,
he got his paw up and everything.
Yeah, like it's
like, why are you leaving me out here alone?
Yeah, so that's been my life from quarantine. But it's been bittersweet, up and down. So
I just miss going to work on a regular basis.
I miss money.
You haven't been doing your driving thing?
No, I'm not risking it, bro. Every day it's like we're up like 200 cases in Newark. I'm not even. Mm-mm.
Did they even increase the amount you guys would get for it or
no?
I know, don't they usually have peak times or whatever? Did they increase that in lieu of hazard pay?
No. At first, it was at first I was able to go out. I would go out maybe from 5 in the morning. Well, 5 in the morning to 7 or 8. And excuse me, I was doing that because I would go out when it was super increased. So it'd be a $10 surge. Okay, yeah, that means that every ride that I'm getting is going to give me at least $15, so that I can, stack up something without having to deal with that many different people, interacting with that many different people. Then once the cases started increasing, it just completely dried up. But the only times that they do have super surges, because I'll check the map every now and then just to see. And the only time they do have super surges is over in Jersey City, right by the waterfront. Who's going there? She's not. She is not. Fuck the front line. I'm going to be over here in the back. I'll clap for you guys. I thank you. I went to the grocery store today, and as the lady finished up, I made sure to stop and thank her for being there. You know what I mean? I said, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. You feel what I'm saying? And I said that to every worker that was there or whatever. But I'm not. Mm-mm. I'm not jumping out there on the front line unless I'm going to be well compensated for it. You know what I mean? It sucks that there's people out there that's having to go out there and they're not getting hazard pay, but they're right there on the front lines. That sucks. You feel me? And I'm in a position where if I don't see what it's going to be like, I'm not even going to risk it. I'm not even going to risk it. I'll sit my ass down somewhere.
As you should, because aren't they saying now that it stays in the fabrics now too? So that would just be it sitting up in your car.
Oh shit! I don't even know. I didn't even read about that. But one thing about me though, like when I've always had, stuff for the car. Like I've always kept the inside of my car pretty much like I wipe it down with Lysol wipes or whatever. But once the virus started getting, more common and the numbers started increasing, immediately, probably like in February, when I first heard that it was like, on the rise or whatever, that's when I was like, all right, I went and I got some Lysol. And like, I got Lysol and
gloves,
hand sanitizers and stuff. This was before everybody went crazy. And I had Lysol wipes, disinfectant wipes. But I realized, well, even prior to that, I did. Because before that, I had the little travel ones. I had got a couple of travel ones from Target. So I was always spraying down after people get out. Because I don't play that, because AJ be back there, you feel what I'm saying? So, once I'm done for the day, I'm spraying everything down or whatever before she get in the car. So I don't have to worry about that. But while the shit was getting a little more crazy, I was definitely spraying every time somebody got in and out the car. I was not playing, to the point where I had to stop and say to myself, bitch, maybe you need to spray it and step out the car, because I feel like I was inhaling too many of the fumes.
Oh, you wasn't getting out to do the back seat. You was just... No.
Yes, I was laying that whole motherfucker down, rolling down the four windows and, letting the air circulate out or whatever. Yeah, no, but then once it started getting serious and I was like literally getting out the car, spraying out the... But what really made me say I gotta chill was two situations that made me say I gotta chill. As this was like right before everybody went remote. Right before everybody, everything started to slowly start closing down or whatever. There was a lady, I had a spew. I said, listen, with the corona going around, I'm just asking everybody to be mindful. If you need to cough or sneeze or whatever like that, let your window down, do it out the window. I think that's fair. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because even if there wasn't no corona, I don't want to breathe your sneeze air.
Plus, they're going directly towards the front.
Thank you. So I said that, and then there was this lady I was taking. She was she worked in a hospital. I was dropping off at the hospital. So when I said that, the bitch obviously had. Sometimes I wish our people would just be a little bit better, so that I don't have to be like, yeah, the bitch had to be black from the hood with an attitude, because that's what she was. She just had this, the shit, it just wasn't necessary, the whole interaction. So anyways, she in the car, I say what I say. She like, well, not for nothing, if you scared, then maybe you shouldn't be driving Uber.
How else you gonna make some money?
And what's wrong with being cautious? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with being cautious? Well, what's wrong with that? There's literally people out there that don't know better, period. People that are them, you saying, yo, you gotta wash your hands regularly. That's new to them. So what's wrong with me being cautious? What's wrong with me giving even if, okay, I got real sick in January, and I feel like maybe that's what it was.
Maybe.
And me and AJ got real sick in January, and then Aunt, her dad, got sick. He went to the doctor, cause he a baby, he don't take his shit like a G. Me and AJ, we took that shit like a G. And something, this nigga, I gotta go to the doctor. So the doctors told him that he had a real bad respiratory infection, and just gave him part of my hair. and it just gave him some antibiotics, but it ain't really worked that well, which is why I feel like it wasn't no respiratory infection because antibiotics didn't clear it up. Antibiotics don't they clear up bacterial infections. That was a viral infection. You know what I'm saying? Well, COVID is a viral infection. Anyways, but so even if I get sick and I can handle it, who's to say that I get sick and I bring that home? And you know what I mean? My 65, 66-year-old dad, you know what I mean? He catches it now. He can't handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like I already lost somebody. I lost my bowling mentor to this shit. And it's not, that was close enough for me to be like, not playing with you niggas. And I hate to have to say it like that, but that, like, I was just, my old weed man called me to check up on me and shit.
Aww.
I know, all my weed men love me. I'm just cool like that. They just called to check on me and shit. He said, yo, you been to any quarantine parties? Nigga, what?
Does he mean like the DJ D-Nice one or something?
Bitch, I've been to those. I was all up in those. This nigga talking about actual quarantine parties. I said, bro, I'm sorry. I don't like to consider myself no snitch. But if you invite me to one of those, I'm going to tell the cops where it is. Because y'all niggas is really putting people at risk. You know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous that, and I'm trying to, like, get him to understand, like, without preaching to him, because you can't preach to these kids, you know what I mean? Like, you can't preach to these early 20s and these young, you know, these teens, because they feel like they know everything. You don't know everything. And that's why all the motherfuckers that went out there for spring break, they came back. Most of their parents like, yo, you can't come in the house. This is real shit. And I'm like, yeah, I'm right there with you. I read one article about a guy. He said his kids, you know, knew about what was going on. They said, we're not missing spring break for this. So they went down here to spring break. He said his son called them like, yeah, you know, I'm about to, you know, when we land or whatever. He says, well, I'm not coming to get you. So the airport was like 2 hours away from where he lived. So he had to take an Uber. Him and his friends, they had to take the Uber like 2 hours. They got there. The father said, you can't come in here. He put some groceries in the trunk, and he put $300 in the car. He parked the car at the end of the driveway. He said, no, come no further. But I said, wait, I gotta pee. He said, I have bushes. I have bushes right there. That nigga was like, yo, I'm not taking no risk. Like, and I understand. Like, the comedian Linnell, she had posted, I seen something on the Shade Room, and I went to her page, but she's like, yeah, I banned my daughter from here. And I understand y'all not taking it serious. Y'all want to be out here bumping elbows with everybody, you know what I mean, passing blood. Like, okay, granted, this is that serious that I haven't been around anybody, but if I was around somebody, I'm not passing you no fucking blunt, bro. You can't smoke after me, bro. No. Sorry. I only really smoke with my best friend, but even then, I'm on blunts right now, you know what I mean? Shit's sensitive. No. Mm-mm. Hell, I even sprayed that nigga when he came to bring my weed out. I was like, thanks, friend, appreciate you. He's like, yo, you for real? I'm like, precautions. Like, it's, and these kids, like, not taking it serious, and that's why people are getting, like, it sucks, because you're seeing, like, did you see the bus driver? There was a bus driver, he got put a rant, I think he was in Detroit. There was a lady that was on the bus, and she just was coughing. She wasn't covering her mouth or whatever, and he had got on the internet, like, he had made a video. He was ranting, like, you know, this is not cool. Like, this is nasty. Like, you can't be out here coughing like that, da-da-da. Like, you know, we right here, da-da-da. Turns out, I don't know if that woman who was coughing was where he got it from, but he ended up catching COVID, and he passed from it.
Oh.
Right. So it's just like, imagine, like, that shit. Like I said, just because some people it won't affect them in the same way. Like most of the people would get it and be okay, but there are a great number of people who have underlying conditions, and not for nothing, people in our age group, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers aren't built like they used to be built, okay? Motherfuckers from 30 to 40, these motherfuckers is just dying from just poor health, period. You feel what I'm saying?
Heart attacks left and right.
Everybody has, well, I'm not going to say everybody, but a lot of the people now in, the age group that would be least at risk, a lot of the motherfuckers have underlying conditions. And honestly, taking it even a step further, and this is, I don't know, where our audience is or whatever, but anybody in the hood, anybody in North, like, these niggas don't get checked up the way they supposed to. They don't. They drink, they smoke, they do all this shit that could cause like terrible problems within their body, and they don't even go get checked up. You feel what I'm saying? You know how many niggas out here got asthma just acting like this, that like this COVID shit ain't gonna do nothing to them? Bitch, your lungs is already sensitive. You out here want to be playing with God? You better sit the fuck down. They be crying it. Niggas out here with these little baby lungs, and I know who got the baby lungs from when they hit the blunt. Fuck out of here, baby lungs. You need to sit down. You're at risk. So that was my COVID rant.
Well, it's supposed to be over, what, in June, May, July, something like that? Depending on
the thing about it is, like, well, the last pandemic we had was what, the Spanish flu, 1912, 1918?
Yeah.
Now, I listened to a through line because that's my shit. Was it through line or I think it was through line. And they had an episode about it. And the guy, the historian or whomever it was that was speaking about it, he said that the pandemic hit in like a January, cold winter type month. Mm-hmm. And it trickled off at the end of spring because it's a cold virus. It lives in the cold. So once it got hotter, it trickled off. And then it came back in like September, and then it stayed until the following year around May. And then by then they had, was it vaccines?
Immunity?
Vaccines or something. They had something. But after that, that's when it stayed around basically for like a year and some change. A year and a half. It just took the summer off because she was in school. So my thoughts is that with the technological advancements that we have now and the medical advancements that we have now, my thought is that it's going, trickle off in the warmer months or whatever. And if they don't capitalize on that time, that where everything dies down to, find some type of treatment or something to contain it or to alleviate the damage that it can cause or the spread and everything, then when it comes back around, we're going to experience that all over again. But again, I feel like we will have, like, it's not 1918. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like it's going to be as, once it comes back around in like the colder months, I don't feel like it's going to be as big of a problem. However, with 45, there is no telling.
Well, this is his election year.
Exactly. So there is really no telling. It's not, let me not even do that. Agent on my phone, never mind. I wasn't even gonna say what you think I was gonna say.
What was you gonna say?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one that chewed that. I wouldn't. We need a distraction. They need a distraction. I'm losing a little bit. People are seeing me for, it's my Trump fish. People are seeing me for what I'm worth. I need a distraction. Hey, take this sneeze over there to China. I mean, I'm not even saying that that's a conspiracy. I'm not even, that's not even a conspiracy theory. I'm just picking fun, but.
I mean, isn't that what Bush did? He found
with 9/11.
Whole ass war to keep him in office.
Oh yeah, that what you call it? Oh, yep, you are absolutely right. My history teacher, he was something that year, boy. He was so child. He was pissed about that. We had to do a whole paper. He was like, "Where are the weapons? Where are the weapons of mass destruction? There are none." I was like, "Bruh." He had dreads, but they was gray, and they would hang in his face. where are the weapons? And shit just be swinging all over. But yeah. Anyways, that was my COVID update.
It was a good time. It was a waste of time.
R.I.P. Rudy Johnson, you will be missed. All right.
Also to Bill Withers, who died.
Whew. I better leave the young thing alone. Ain't no sunshine. Y'all knew there was gonna be a song coming at some point or another.
It's a musical episode.
You lucky I don't get AJ up here to sing "Lean on Me" because that's her shit.
That's her shit. Lovely Day's not her song. She seems like a lovely day.
No, I like Lovely Day. I like Lovely Day. It's just two of us. And Ain't No Sunshine. Ain't No Sunshine. That's my shit. But she loves Lean on Me. She loves the message of it because you know AJ is all about unity and peace and being good friends and shit like that. I don't know where she gets all that from. She's like a Care Bear. Exactly. So she loves that song. She's like, when you're not strong, I'm like, yo, girl, you don't have to enunciate everything. Bill Withers, past R.I.P. Bill Withers. What else has happened in the last couple of weeks?
I can't think of anything.
I'm really impressed with the job that Andrew Cuomo's doing. I'm just going to put that out there.
I keep getting told, though, that a lot of the hospitals closed under him, but then I keep getting reminded by my boss that most of that was probably set up before he even got in office, so he couldn't really do much.
That's true.
Because the more I learn about government, the more I'm just like, this is some bullshit.
Turned off.
Yeah.
Turned off, and like, it's one of those, like, ooh, this is the ghetto. I'd rather not. It's like the ghetto is like, it's like a good 20 exits on the parkway. So it's like, damn, I don't want to go through this, but I have to get where I need to be. So let me just ride through these ghetto ass activities with these ghetto ass Republicans and Democrats, and you know, get through what I can. Like, that's how I be looking at it.
It's like living on the Maplewood-Irvington border. Like, I know if I take a South Orange Irvington border, it's like if I know if I take a couple of blocks down, it's gonna be the hood.
Shit, the border over by my house, shit. What you mean? I got Seton Hall right here, and then you go a couple of blocks down, and you might get robbed. Straight like that. When them little Seton Hall folks be coming down to my corner store, I'll be looking like, bro, you bold. You bold.
That's a far ass walk.
You got a whole ass cardigan sweater on. And you bold. You bold. They about to sell you a dime for $20. Because that's what they do.
Is that a lot?
A dime is $10. Like, a dime is like, like a 0.7. Yeah, but it's usually like $10. But they upcharge white people.
Reparations, I understand.
I mean, I need mine off the top. I need mine off the top. This is for Harriet.
Let's get into it. The good doctor, Dr. Melendez, died.
How? An earthquake?
Yeah, he died in an earthquake from internal bleeding, and then they tried to do a surgery, but it didn't go right, so now he's dead. But Claire was on his chest as he died. So she got to be part of two people's trauma this season. Her mom dying because of that alcohol she left in, now also Dr. Melendez.
Wonderful, which means that next year she's going to be all extra fucked up.
No, because it seems like her and Dr. Lynn, they actually bond now as women of color. Because they both lost a man they loved.
Okay, but she's going to be extra fucked up. She's going to be walking around like wallowing in her traumas. Oh, my life was so hard.
Oh, it is kind of hard.
But I hear that. That's the setup that I hear for next season.
Well, Leah and Shonda together, so that's one less thing you got to hear about.
So she realized that she can love somebody with what you call it.
It's one of those unfortunate, like, I needed a grand gesture to understand how much you loved me type of things. because when the accident hits, she ends up in the basement, but somehow is easily able to get out. So Sean, not knowing this, he goes into the basement, nearly gets trapped, nearly dies, to help one of the people who was also down there with him, but he eventually makes it out. And he talks about, it's a long story this, but I'm going to make it short. He talks about how Leah makes him more of a person, because she taught him how to drive, kiss and all that, but he doesn't really give anything back to her that makes her more. And she hears all this on a walkie-talkie because for some reason they leave a walkie-talkie with her. And
because they heard to hear that.
And so when he finally gets out, it's a big kiss number. They're going to be together. And even though the patient was telling him to move on and all that, the idea that this autistic guy tells me on my website is that the thing with every season, every person is Sean's supposed to be challenged and not give up because he's supposed to show that perseverance isn't the same thing as fixation. So with that, he eventually persevered and got to go, which leaves me slightly uncomfortable because of all he has set up to now, but it's Sean's show, so of course he's going to get what he wants.
Yo, I swear, you secretly do not like this nigga. Like, I feel like we watch this show because you're invested. Like, because there's an initial investment. But I feel like you really don't like that. You don't. Like, I feel like you like Sean a little bit. But I feel like you hate everybody else on the show, including the writers, the directors, everybody.
No, I love Claire. It's just... It's one of those things since I watched since season 1, I can't abandon it now.
That's... Yeah, the follow through. That's what it is. That's what I think it is with you, because like you don't really be having many pleasant things to say about the show. It's usually because he's going to get what he wants, obviously, because they're not going to give him any hardship. Like
he calls him hardship. It's just nothing is permanent.
Autism, like, I don't know if you're born. He's autistic. Like, he already had hardship. Like, he lost his brother, his father. Like, he ain't experienced no struggle. Like, damn. Amari, what you want him to do? Lose an arm? Like.
But yeah, let's see what else happened. Dr. Alex makes it seem that he's gonna go home to Phoenix to be with his wife and son, but unfortunately, he's gonna be on next season. This show has so much dead weight; it's not funny. This show has dead weight. It makes me happy to kill off Melendez because it's like, what else is he gonna do? Who else is there to date? He's gonna get with Debbie next.
Medical penis.
I mean, at least you know it should be clean.
I mean, sterile.
Who else? Carly's getting written off, so she won't be back next season.
That was the girlfriend, right?
The person who trained him up for Leah, yes. What is the truth? What is it old school term called? A cleanup woman?
Oh, go on, Betty. Making it easy for the cleanup woman to get my man's love. Yeah, my sister, she likes Betty White. Betty White.
Who else was in there? Dr. Glassman is still Dr. Glassman. We haven't seen his wife in forever, and I'm proud of that. What?
Okay.
What else? Who else matters on there? Oh, Morgan messed up her. She had the hand surgery. She messed up her hand, so I don't know if she's gonna be able to perform anymore.
No, so they about to write her off.
There's no word on that, but at this point, she.
I know that is how, like, nigga, I didn't even want this surgery. You convinced me to get this surgery, and then you fucked my shit up. Really? Wow, that's crazy. How convenient.
And Dr. Andrews found out about her surgery and all that, so he kind of was pissed because he felt lied to.
Just be like, was that your business though? I mean, I understand, but it's just like.
Remember those two were supposed to write a paper together?
Huh?
They were supposed to write a paper together about some technique or whatever he was doing.
Right. I mean, so I just have this issue of people feeling entitled to certain information. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to like health related things, it just be like, it's not. It don't be easy to say certain things to people. You feel what I'm saying? Or sometimes, like, I'm the type of person, if something's wrong with me, I have to resolve it within myself before I even speak about it to anybody else. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, like, who was it? I had a surgery once. My whole family, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, I needed to, like, that was me. I needed to resolve that within myself. It wasn't something that you ain't want support. You ain't want support. No, I didn't. I didn't want a whole bunch of people there. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to deal with this and get it out of the way because everybody else was going to make a bigger deal of it than what it is, and it was going to make me have the anxiety of it. You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like when people act like they're entitled to your health information, it's just like, all right. But if it tied to like a project that they were working on, then I understand. But don't be feeling, oh, I feel lied to. That you don't have that right to feel like that, do you?
Let's not forget that she was a surgeon with rheumatoid arthritis.
That part, but still, I felt lied to. Like, maybe he could have chose a different wording for that.
Well, you know, he's one of them.
Like, it's just something like, oh yeah, you know, like, I feel lied to, or I felt like, you know, lied to. It's just like, I don't know. I forgot what the thought was going.
But I think his issue also is that if she can go to Dr. Glassman about this, who basically is semi-retired, why don't you go to the person who's trying to invest in you, trying to show you off and stuff like that?
Because she didn't even want to go to Dr. Glassman. And that's the thing. He probably, like, certain, like, I feel like with that situation, you get some people who are so eager to help that it's like, bro, your eagerness is like really making me uncomfortable through this. And then you get some people like Dr. Glassman who the way he kind of handled it was like pushy but not pushy. I don't know how to describe it. In this situation, it brings me back to like me and my attitude when I bowl. I have back in the day, I used to have a badass attitude. I mean, I would go, like, I would get mad, and I would just be like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not doing this. I'm packing up, and I'm leaving. And, like, my bowling coach, all right, well, you know, my mentor, he was the first person that just paid my attitude no mind. Like, that shit just went. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need to do this. I don't need to do this. Like, I was getting real mad. He, you know, okay. Like, yeah, I'm out of here. I don't need to be here. All right, we'll drive safely.
He was doing like he needed an AJ.
Yeah, you feel that? Exactly. So I'm sitting there with all that anger, and I'm just like, I'm gonna try this shit one more time, then fine. You know what I mean? But like, he knew how to get through to me without it kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, it was one of those like, I'm not even going to entertain this. I'm gonna let you figure it out on your own, and I'm gonna that's gonna guide you back to making. You're gonna end up making the decision that I think is best for you because you're gonna see it. You're gonna see why I think it's best for you, type thing. If that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like with Dr. Glatt, like the other doctor, why didn't you should have told him he was ready to invest in her. Maybe she didn't want all of that attention. She probably was still trying to come to terms with the fact that she's acknowledging the illness, you know what I mean, acknowledging that it's having an effect on her performance. Now I go and tell you this, your first thought is, well, not going to say your first thought, but if you tell your boss that you have an issue in which you might be incapable of performing the task, your first thought of their response is going to be, they're going to sit me out, they're going to put me on the sideline. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're going to see me as a disability. And she probably was trying to avoid being seen as such. That's probably why she went to Dr. Glassman, because he's kind of on the outside of the court. He's not in the game. Mm-hmm. So you listen, this is what's going on, this is how I feel, blah, 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 blah. But, like you said, he's semi-retired. He's kind of out of the game. He's not on the front lines. He's not immediately close enough to where it's like, I know you're going to run back and tell this nigga what I just told you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I do that sometimes. Like, I'll confide more in somebody who's a little bit on the further outs, opposed to being, like, right. Like, okay, I could have called my best friends for these. Like, I could have called my sister and said this, but I kind of don't want that being real close. I want to talk to somebody who's over here, so I still have room to navigate my mind over here. You get what I'm saying? Like, I put we know what the problem is, but it's not, like, all I'm hearing around me.
Because one can't confer to the other and make this a whole group thing.
There you go. So, I mean, but I don't know, I've worked in in health information for many years. So when I see people, kind of acting entitled to people's personal health information, it's like, bitch, there's a HIPAA. Okay? There's a HIPAA. I don't have to tell you shit. You are not on my papers and you are not my insurance company. However, I do understand that if it does directly affect the project that they're working on, maybe she should have given them a little bit of a heads up, but she don't owe you shit, bro. That's how I look at it. She don't owe you shit.
Let's move on to Cherish the Day.
Got all about Cherish the Day.
Let's see, what's the quick version of it? When did you last watch again? You're looking all over. Look to the left, right?
Well, so you said then episode 3 they did what?
Whoa, back in the day. We're just going to pretend like we're going over the whole season. So at the end, they get back together again.
Mm-hmm. They got married. You finished the whole thing, right?
Yeah, so they got divorced. And then Ms. Luma had a birthday party. Yes, they got divorced. He divorced her, by the way.
Why?
Because I think he just got tired. Plus his company went under and all that. And she
how long were they together in total before the first divorce?
I think.
So you said the second episode, or the following episode was like 5 years later or something?
When it comes back for the last episode, I think it was like almost a year passed since the divorce. So now, one of the issues that Evan was having, oh my God, I remember their names. One of the issues that Evan was having was gently with her podcast where Miss Luma was starting to blow up as his whole thing was starting to go down. So she was starting to be more invested in that and actually having something for herself rather than dedicating all her time to him as it was before. So in her evolution, he was devolving and he was like, but you used to be there for me all the time. What's happening now? He didn't like the switch in the dynamics.
Niggas don't usually.
No, and you see that a lot in the shows nowadays, I'm realizing.
And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I mean, I see how it can, closely portray what happens in real life, but it's like, it just sucks. Because just because you're going down, it's like, okay, we're here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on my way up, you're on your way down. We meet here, but you're bitter. You're mad at me for succeeding, and that usually makes, in those situations, and I don't even want to say like when the man is coming down or whatever. Like it's both. But when one person's going up, one person's coming down, it's like, yo, I can't even fully enjoy my rise. Like I've asked for this, or I wanted this, or you know what I mean. This is a good thing, and I can't even fully enjoy it because I got to cater to your ego. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I got to cater to what you're lacking and where your life is going. I got to kind of like hold the celebration. Let me pull this motherfucker up. You know what I mean? Like I want to bust out and shake my ass because I just landed a deal, but I can't even fully express myself in that way because I don't want you to feel bad about where you are in life.
Mm-hmm. It's like they said in Black Love. You gotta learn how. You have to be able to evolve and grow with the person, and not just be stuck on that image and where they are when you first met.
Right. Yeah, definitely. You have to give them space to grow out of the box that you put them in.
Mm-hmm. Much less, what is it? Our skin sheds every 30 days or something, so they're a new person almost every month.
And I constantly tell people that, like, yo, stop. Like, you can base things off of like the history of, but at the same time, you still have to give that person space to grow because, you usually do this. Yeah, I usually do that, but maybe last night I went to sleep and woke up and realized that what I usually do was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta give them that space, but to each his own jam.
Yeah, plus they were having trouble in couples therapy because they had that usual dynamic you see of one feeling like they're getting all the support and the other one's being portrayed as the bad guy, and it just wasn't working. Mm-hmm. But it kind of sucks though that they left it kind of on ellipsis where they kind of got back together because they kissed at the end, but you don't know what's happening further because it's an anthology, so that's the last we see of Evan and Jim.
I'm just gonna issue this once I get comfortable. I start rocking, so I don't want you to feel like.
No, it's fine. I'm moving myself because my tailbone is hurting like hell right now.
Yeah, because I can't. When I sit still, I get really uncomfortable. So I don't want to start rocking it and then just be like, "The fuck is wrong with this bitch?"
Lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. Ooh,
But
let's move on to Ozark because ain't much more to say about Cherish today.
Ozark is good. Speaking of changing in the dynamics,
Well, that's been happening for seasons
coming
now.
through theirs, huh?
That's been happening for seasons now. Like Wendy was been upset about how her life was a housewife. She wanted to get to this point where she was making boss
she
moves.
really was like, yeah, nah, I'm making moves. You either gonna get on this boat with me or you gonna stand on that island.
And let's not forget, when we first met them, they both were cheating on each other now, going toward divorce anyway.
Yeah, which kind of is like they were together because they needed to be together for that situation. But Wendy wasn't playing no games this season. She was coming to she was white women whiting.
She went over Helen's head and got her basically killed.
Bro, when Ellen said, "How did you get that number? When was the last time you used it?" She was like, "Last night." Helen's face was like, Huh. That was the white woman noise throughout the season. Seriously, bro, that shit would have me cracking up when they was trying to negotiate with the other hotel casino. And that little mean ass lady wasn't here.
I find it.
Wasn't nothing good behind that.
I wonder why they didn't explore the fact that that dude technically killed his wife.
I mean,
They just let that fall off.
Bro, when he did that look around, I was cracking the fuck up. Okay, you know what? And she said you was weak. You smart though.
Oh dear.
Yeah, no, this season was really good. It was good.
I
liked
appreciate Ruth's journey through it.
Ruth is that bitch, but I'm not too like. All right, so the last was the season, the finale or whatever. Like for those who, if you listening to this,
You know it's spoilers.
yeah, basically. So when Darlene came up to Ruth and was like, I want you to come work with me or whatever, I'm like, yeah.
Why?
Because I feel like Darlene means well, but it's going to be a big conflict because I don't feel like Ruth.
How is it a conflict? It's a legacy thing.
I understand
Darlene
that.
and Ruth are the same person at a different age.
I agree, but the difference is Ruth. She can't stand Marty she can't stand Wendy, but I feel like she looks at Marty as like a big brother / father / uncle.
Yes, when she ran up to him and hugged him when he came back from Mexico, that was so sweet.
Exactly. So I feel like it's going to be a conflict. Like Darlene's going to, at some point or another, have her do something that she's not comfortable with doing against Marty. That's why I say that I don't see it being like, because think about it. Ruth, she bout that life. But
Hold up, when have we ever seen Ruth do something violent against somebody? Because she got a lot of mouth, but she don't really be about that action too much. At least this season, she was not.
She rigged the boat to kill her. What you call it?
She rigged the boat, but she wasn't hitting nobody. Darlene is up close and personal when she wants to fuck you up.
Darlene, that's because Darlene's old. She done reached that age where I don't have time to be acting like I don't like you. I don't like you. You don't like me. Fuck you. And I'm okay with that. But guess what's going to happen? You either going to get with this show or you not. Because if you're not with this show, you're going to get run over. So you just let me know what you want.
The way
But you only get to that point after a certain age. She's over 50. I think 50 is the age where it clicks like, yo, I don't have to give a fuck about these niggas. Like seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So if Ruth, down the road she's gonna hit 40s, 50s. She's gonna go through more stuff to the point where she's like, yo, it don't benefit me to give a fuck about y'all. So I'm just gonna tell you straight up how it is, or I'm gonna act straight up how it is. You know what I mean? That's what Darlene about that action. You know what I mean? She don't, and she's unapologetic with it. But stuff like that comes from years of being in the game, years of taking shit and having to assess it. Like, wait, I ain't have to take that from you. But guess what? Tomorrow when I wake up, I'm not gonna take that shit from you.
She just slashed that woman's tires just from sliding her in that little birthing class.
You feel me? You feel me? Like, and then had the nerve to say, no, I ain't do that. I ain't do that. I don't know what the fuck she talking about. But what's up? You trying to move this heroin or what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Darlene, she at that age, bro. She at that age. I don't have time to pussyfoot around. I gotta get to the point. You gonna move these poppies or what? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, I need a distributor.
Her and Wyatt were a cute couple in a weird way.
You said what?
Her and Wyatt were kind of a cute couple in a very odd way.
Sickening, yes. I agree. But you know what it is? It was because she was building him up and he ain't felt that.
You know? He was trying to build him up.
No. Not building him up like in life. I mean in character, in spirit. Like when she was at the table, she was like, yeah, he's like, you know, basically I come from a lot of trash people. She's like, nah, back in the day, you might not know this, but back in the day, your people was good. You know, your people always been good with me. And shit like that really registered. Or like when he was holding the drugs, what was it, heroin or something?
Mm-hmm,
when they were still, and he was like, yeah, you know, I've never tried it. And she was like, listen, I ain't gonna have no junkie in my bed. She was like, you got pain in your eyes. I can see it. She's like, but you got that good pain, the kind of pain that you use, you know what I mean, you use that pain to do better opposed to sinking into that pain with the drugs. Like she was saying shit like building him up, restoring him as a man, restoring him as a person, because he's coming into manhood now.
Mm-hmm.
But the person that he was broken because of what society deemed his family. Your family ain't shit, so you ain't shit. And when you grow up thinking that you ain't shit, and then somebody finally starts building you up, you cling to them. You know what I mean? Like I've been there. Like when we lived in Georgia, and we took my boyfriend's we took my boyfriend's little cousin in. He hadn't really had that structure and stuff, and I mean, we clashed heads. But once everything was said and done, like right now to this day, if I go over there, he knows, like, yo, you really fuck with me, and I fuck with you because you give me what other people didn't want to give me because of what I am or where I came from. You feel what I'm saying? Like, people would look down at him, or, you know what I mean, you kind of ain't shit, or you don't have it. And because of that, you keep telling somebody that they ain't shit, they going to start acting accordingly because they believe it. They receive it as truth. And that's where homeboy, the Langmore boy, was at. He was receiving all of this shit. Everything about, like, my family ain't shit. I done lost my family, you know, my father, my uncle, whomever it was. Like, and the town is telling me that we just trailer park trash over here. And you start believing it, and then you get somebody that come in like, hey, bruh, you ain't trash. You look fine to me. I'll fuck with it. Then what you like, wait a minute, so I'm not trash? You see something in me, you want to keep going to that person because that's where you're getting, like, they're feeding you that life that you're looking for. You know what I mean? So in a sick, twisted way, I was kind of like, okay, I don't want to see y'all making out on the screen. I don't want to see no sexing or anything like that. You can hold that. You can fade that out to black as soon as you go and fade it out. Go and fade it out right there, and then just come back. Ooh, boom. You know, smoking a cigarette or something. We know, we can infer what's going on. Okay, obviously he laid the pipe down on her little old ass, knocked the out of that bitch, so we good. We don't even see it, but I do see that, you know, she's good. And he's good for her because she needed somebody.
Plus, I think she's really thinking about legacy and what she's gonna leave after at this point.
True. I mean, she old as shit.
I mean, that's the reason why she wanted Zeke in the first place.
Exactly. So that she could have somebody to leave it to. And her ex-husband, he wasn't, ex-husband, you know, her dead husband, he wasn't trying to hear what she was trying to hear. He wasn't trying to make the moves, so that's a pretty picture. He wasn't trying to make the moves that she was trying to make. So she had to go, let me go get a younger model. You feel what I'm saying? Let me go get a new car where I can put the bells and whistles on it that I like, raise them up, and my son, raise my two boys up. You know what I'm saying? And have that person to leave it to. Like, I see exactly, I get what you're saying, but it's just like, I don't want to see that shit. You put them, look, if I want to see some wrinkly titties, I'll look in the mirror. I don't need to look on Netflix. What is this? Hulu? No, Netflix. I don't need to look on Netflix to see that shit. I don't need to look on Netflix to see that shit.
How did you feel about Ben and Ruth?
Oh, that was sad.
I thought it was a very crappy relationship that was rushed.
I agree.
Because I wanted to know, what was her past relationships like, and what's her relationship with sex like? It just jumped right in.
Well, obviously she ain't really been having none.
But what?
She said, "You like me? You sure?" Alright, what the fuck? Like, that's pretty much how it went. But then you only have those moments. You only have the situations like that when you ain't getting none in the manner that you wanted it for a while. Like, she probably ain't had nobody to really knock to knock her kidneys off. So probably, but I was sad. I didn't like how he did his storyline. I didn't like how he did his storyline. But he was messy, and that was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch because it was like, bro, just stop, shut up. If you shut up, you'll live. But he wasn't trying to shut up. So
and then Wendy had to let him get taken out.
I know that was hard for her to do. Like, damn, my brother, like, he's family, but if I don't help him, like, you know what I mean, if I don't handle him, they gonna handle my actual, like, my kids and shit. It was sad.
I don't know how to feel about Jonah and Charlotte this season. Jonah is starting to go off the deep end, back to his whole possible school shooter type of mess, and Charlotte is not as annoying as she first was, but kind of just exists a little bit.
I really agree with that whole exist part.
I mean, she is the only one who's like looking out for Jonah at this point and worrying about his emotional well-being.
But she wasn't really memorable this season. She didn't really do anything memorable. Like, where was her mark of damn word?
I mean, she tried to use her father's clout to get Aaron from...
And that was, I swear to God, that was the only thing that just popped in my head. Like, that was the only thing that I could think of. It was like, like, you know who my father is? Okay, cool. You almost coming in as a boss bitch, but where's the rest of it? Like, you just bossed up right there, and then that was it for the rest. Okay.
I mean, she also took that phone to Kansas City when they was trying to get Ben. She was helping. Maybe not bossing up, but helping.
Still, not really memorable.
Well, Jonah at least was when he had that shotgun. Well, at least Jonah was when he had that shotgun toward Helen, like he was about to do something.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, that was the standout moment. I just was thinking about that when I said that. Like, that was a standout moment, but she ain't really like damn. Honestly, like, if they brought the season back next year and kind of just like Judied her in Family Matters, I wouldn't even notice. Like, she
just have her go upstairs and never come down.
Like, I wouldn't even notice. I would not even notice.
That's a damn shame.
It's all facts, though.
How much longer do you think this could go on?
I don't know, but I feel like, honestly, like, they may overdo it. Like, I feel like they may drag it longer than it needs to be.
Because it feels at this point they got maybe two good seasons left in it.
I agree.
One, dealing with the whole fact that Darling's making a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, the last season got to be either they all get shot up and die, or else they finally make it out.
I mean, yeah, and I really don't believe that. The way the storyline is being written out, and like with the whole like foreshadowing or whatever, I feel like they're gonna get tied up further in with Navarro, opposed to like trying to work the plan to get him legal and to get him legit and pull him out. I feel like he's gonna pull them further in, away from that aspect, if not intentionally then unintentionally. But I feel like that's gonna take next season. It's gonna be a mix of Navarro and his bullshit, and then they have to deal with that, and then turn around and have to deal with Darlene. So it's like two things coming in at them at once, and then the season after that, like the following season, it's probably just going to be the fallout from one of them.
Because let's not forget, Darlene's also pairing up with Frank. Charles, who used to be their man in the casino business, he don't like Wendy. So it's like they only have Navarro.
They're basically like everything is lining up to where all of these problems are going to be standing around them, pointing a gun at them type thing. You know what I mean? Like they're going to be in the middle, and there's going to be problems everywhere you turn. There's going to be some bullshit that they got to deal with. That's how I see that season going. And then I feel like next season is going to progress to where one problem will like kind of take over the whole thing, and like the other problem will fade out. Like maybe if they take Navarro, if they take that storyline, and put that in the A spot, then they'll kind of gradually find a reason for Darlene to be out. Like maybe she'll die, you know what I mean? Or they'll write it to where like somebody close to her sees that she's wilding too much and take her out so that the storyline can focus on Navarro. Or it could be vice versa, because like you said, she's gearing up with Frank and all of them, so it's like that could become a bigger concern than Navarro. Like they might play it where it's like, okay, well, Navarro's trying to go legit, let's make it easier for him to get legit, move him out the way so that we could focus our season after that on Darlene and Frank and them coming after them.
Because Darlene is an OG, so they need to save her for the last season.
Yeah, I feel like Darlene. Yeah, the whole writing her off, I don't think it would take that route. I honestly think that they'll probably make the Navarro storyline take the B position over Darlene.
Anything else to cover with that? No. So, let's do Coffee and Kareem, since you freshly
yeah, I was just thinking that too, like, because I know you said you watched it today. What were your thoughts?
I think people are forgetting that not every comedy has to be taken seriously.
Thank you.
Like, it's like when people think Tyler Perry, since he's working so long, should have prestige and stuff. It's like, no, this nigga does like basic shit to entertain you. One and done.
Yeah, I feel like this was what it was for. It was mindless. It was to make you. For me, it just made me laugh hard as shit, bro. It made me like really. At first I just was like, what am I watching? What the fuck am I watching? Why does fucking Joan from Girlfriends? Why does her ex-boyfriend have a motherfucking lemon on his eye? Why? Like I couldn't. What am I watching? But as I was watching it, I had went through the hashtag on Twitter. Hi. I went through the hashtag on Twitter, and everybody's like, "Oh, this is disgusting! How dare they have this kid with this mouth? Like, it's just super vulgar." Blah, blah, blah.
Are we forgetting there was a whole film last year called Good Boys, which was filled with that?
The whole thing, like the whole thing. And Good Boys was cool too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But they I can't believe, how dare the guy who wrote Shane something. How dare he write like this, that? Like, bruh, you too sensitive. Turn the shit off.
Not just there are kids who literally talk just like that.
I swear. On everything, bruh. Once quarantine is over, I will lift my window at 3 o'clock when these little badass motherfuckers get out of school, and you will hear this is exactly how they fucking talk. I mean, I can talk like that because I'm 31. Mm-hmm. But this is how they talk like that. That's literally how they talk. Literally. The only thing is, they're not as smart as that boy in the movie.
That boy was manipulating the hell out of James.
And that's why, like I said in my comments on Facebook, that's a testament to that whole people with the potty mouths have high intellect. Yes, facts, facts. I totally agree. Yeah, he had a potty mouth. He did, but a lot of the shit that he was saying made sense. I mean, outside of the rambles on, like,
And I mean, look at it this way: he is a young black boy with a black mom with that kind of mouth. Yeah, he never got hit. How smart you have to be to get hit?
You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? Your mother really believed that you an angel? Come on now. If you can make your mother think that you, with that mouth, is an angel.
And he cussed around her. He cussed in that paper while she was handcuffed in the bathroom.
You feel like, come on now.
Yet she smacked the hell out of James.
Yo, I like Taraji in that role. I mean,
that's the role she always plays, though.
It wasn't like her movie, but oh gosh, excuse me.
Okay, it's past your bedtime.
No, it's not even that. I was up. It was like 4, and then I turned around and then woke up at like 10, so I didn't really get off sleep. But yeah, no, I liked her in that role. I enjoyed her in that role. That mother, black mama role, I liked her in that role. And then, like you said, it was not all movies are meant to have super deep meaning. You know what I mean? Some movies is just ignorant fun, and that's what that was. It was just ignorant fun. Cause I cracked the fuck up when he said, "What you think we about to be BFFs?" Man, fuck out my face, bro. I fucking hollered, bruh. I hollered, bruh. Yo, he hit that, but fuck out my face, yo, because that's really how it be. Like, you really, yeah, I know. Okay, I know AJ want to say that shit to me. What? You ain't gonna do me no favor, man. Fuck out my face. You ain't gonna do me no favor, but you want me to go upstairs and get the remote, man. Fuck out my face. Like, I'm telling you, like, if she could, I know for a fact. Like, she came in here and she wanted to watch it with me, and I'm like, nah, you can't watch it with me. She's like, I watch all the stuff with you, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, granted, like, we do be watching a lot of shit that 5-year-olds maybe shouldn't.
But she knows audience at this point.
No, I mean, yeah.
Like, the way she act with me and the way she act with you is completely different. She knows who to speak around what way.
Exactly. So, but it's just like, I can explain. We watched Candyman. I can explain Candyman. I can break that down, and then she explained it back to me, so she understood. We watched Us. Same thing. She understood. I can't
she watched
explain
Us?
it. Huh?
She watched Us?
Yeah.
That didn't mess with her head a little bit.
She liked that shit. Matter of fact, I twisted her hair. I put a little twist in her hair, and she's like, "Oh, mommy, look at me. I look like the bad mommy. I look like the clone." Well, she calls them clowns. I look like the clown mommy. Yeah, the clown mommy, but she's the real mommy now. Yeah, I look like her. I'm like, all right, girl. Like, she understood. She like, I don't know if you saw it, but I even posted the video on Facebook of her explaining it back to me. Well, she was explaining that, and then she went into like bad people, like, you know, when you're a bad guy and what's supposed to happen to the bad guys. But yeah, she understood it. Like, if I can explain it to her, we good to go. Mm-hmm. I can't explain this. I can't explain Coffee and Kareem. There was no explanation. Like, I'm still like, bitch, what did I just watch?
There is kind of a deeper thing to it, but it's like you have to really overthink it. Like, the fact that his dad died of cancer and they don't really address that too much. And he probably never had somebody come in trying to be that father figure, and then this white man does it, who's a cop of all things, and he's aware of what cops are.
And you right? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You just being in my presence fucks up my street cred. Like, when he said he turned around when they was in the secret hideout, the first one where they shot the cop. It was like, yo, he's a cop. I don't even fuck with cops. I don't even like them. I hate all them pigs. You know what I mean? Like, he was quick to clear that up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you mean to tell me the first father figure that I get after losing my dad is going to be a white cop? This ain't going to work, pimpin'. Vanessa, this ain't going to work. You just black bitch. So, yeah. It was definitely an interesting... It was definitely an interesting movie.
Did you hear that, Louis? Did you see that Louis C.K. link I gave you or no? He has a new comedy special.
Would you email it to me?
Yes.
I know that I haven't like I only check my email when I'm expecting something.
I know.
And I remember you saying like you was gonna forward me something, and when I looked at my email, it wasn't there, and I have not checked my email since.
Black Jesus in the Manger. But yeah, his comedy special came out.
And did you watch it?
Yes, it was.
What were your thoughts? Isn't he like controversial?
Yes, because he's the one who jacked off in front of those women, and to the point that they decided to quit comedy.
Did he talk about that?
Yes, he basically made it seem. I'm gonna ruin the joke, but only because it's like it hit me in such a way that sounded so fucked up. He said he felt like a slave master hearing Negro spirituals thinking that they was happy with the situation. It was fucked up, but it was like also kind of hilarious. Granted, and then he made a lot of slightly pedophilic jokes in there.
Oh my god!
One's about the Holocaust, 9/11. It's like he was at that point where it's like they already tried to take my career, so fuck it.
I mean, well, yeah. Did he say anything about Pete Davidson?
Why would he mention Pete Davidson? Pete Davidson's nowhere near his level.
I mean, yeah, nowhere near his level, but Pete Davidson had a pretty good year, and then like in his special, he talked about Louis C.K. And then he did like press, like some interviews where he mentioned it, so I figured like that would be like, yeah, you got this little dick motherfucker Pete Davidson running around talking about me, like maybe he should be next or something,
No, it's like in my mind, it's like why would you give other people clout during your hour?
True.
Especially when you're trying to technically make a comeback, why are you gonna give somebody else shine? Especially because what Louis C.K. was before he went down, he had his own TV show. Which was very big. He was writing on other people's show, putting them on like Pamela Anwine. He was the co-creator of her show, Better Things. So it's like, why in the world would you talk about this pipsqueak? And don't get me wrong, I like Pete Davidson, but it's like Pete Davidson is never going to be as big as Louis, even when Louis was at his best.
No, I mean I ain't judging nobody, but like, so he just was jerking off and just was like, you don't mind if I just.
He doesn't like to do it alone. That was his joke. He doesn't like to jerk off alone. It's fucked up in so many ways, but
he's just so nasty, yo. Oh my god, like. And this might be taking a turn for the odd, but like, if my man send me like a video of him doing it, I'm okay. But if he's doing it in front of me, I'm so uncomfortable. I don't know why.
Because one is there's something that's to come, and one's coming in front of you.
It's just like I don't like seeing this motion in person. Like, I've only had that happen once. Like there was this. Well, I was like. When I first started smashing or whatever, so I was young. But like the dude, like I don't know if we had did it and we didn't finish, or I said that I wasn't going to do it or something. But like I turned around, he just was like laying on the bed doing it. I remember looking at him like, wow, you're so fine, and this is so unattractive, and now I do not like you. It just, it's not for me. So. Thank God I've never been in a situation like that with Louis C.K. because it's like, thank God we've never been in the elevator together, bro.
But that leads to a very good getting in depth with the topic. Okay. How do you feel about the court of public opinion, especially when it comes to taking down people without there being any type of legal situation involved?
I don't know. I feel like I'm at a point now where I'm learning to be like, it's not for me, or I don't understand it, or I don't agree with it, so I don't need to make a fuss about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that's where I am now. So it's like, unless, case in point, like I'm about to mention some names, and you probably have absolutely no idea who I'm speaking about. Do you know who NBA Youngboy is?
I know it's a rapper, and I think they were on Double XL's top list or something.
You get on my nerves.
What?
Because you don't know who he is, but you start spitting out facts that I don't even know. Like I don't don't know if he was.
Wasn't he on that with? Wasn't he in the same class as Megan Thee Stallion, Tierra Whack, and
he's super problematic. Like just I don't.
Is he the one that beat up his mom and sister or something?
Nah, that was Blueface. But
Yeah.
they might as well be the same person. I mean, they all got the same haircut and they all act as ignorant as they want to be. But NBA Youngboy, or whatever his name is, he's dating Floyd Mayweather's daughter.
That's a dumb move right there.
And this dude, like, she recently, was it 2 days ago maybe, I think they reported it, like she stabbed a girl that she caught with him.
Why are you stabbing the girl?
For a dude who basically, I don't give a fuck about you.
Why?
He fucking with everybody else. And you go home, you go into a place where y'all supposed to stay together, and he's got another bitch there. And you think to stab her. So he ain't invite her in. You feel what I'm saying? But I look at that and you know, court of public opinion, I'm looking at that whole situation and it's like, I want to have more to say about it, but it's just like you just kind of get to the point where it's just like, yo, y'all stupid, and that looks like a headache that I don't even want to have thinking about it. So I just kind of like disregard it. You know what I mean? Like, if it's somebody like, okay, well, they said that this person is a pedophile or something. If it, like, I'm not going to go with it just because everybody is saying it's a pedophile. Now, if you start putting up, like, okay, well, this is why we think that he's a pedophile, this, that, you know what I mean, and showing what it is, and it's like, oh, okay, so I see where these theories are coming from. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't leave me the space to be like, yeah, you're innocent. Like with Bill Cosby, me and my dad had a whole conversation and it kind of stopped. I'm like, are you defending him? Is that a defense? But it wasn't like when it started sounding like he was trying to defend him. I kind of like curved that around. Like, okay, yeah, we weren't there. At the same time, the points that you're using to justify or to defend or whatever, or to kind of like say we don't know, like it's you're not helping right now. You know what I mean? But for me, I kind of just try to like, okay, I just know I will not leave my cup unattended around you ever. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to push the narrative that, you know what I mean, what's being said. I'm just going to be mindful on my end for me and mine. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Michael Jackson touching little boys. I don't know that. You know what I mean? Like I've heard stories, but I ain't, you know, I wasn't there, and that's a lot of mess that I ain't trying to deal with. So what I'm gonna do is, if I'm ever around Michael Jackson, you know, when he was alive, if I'm ever around Michael Jackson, I ain't gonna bring the little boys with me. I'm not even gonna put it, you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna put it in a situation where that could be a possibility. I'm not even gonna create, you know, a situation like that. I'm not even gonna allow something like that. So it's like, does that matter? Like, is it like I forgot where I was going with it. I'm not basing it off of what everybody's saying, but you don't hear what people are saying.
But then comes the question, if there is that type of what out there and people believe it, but there's no legal action done, if the person gets canceled, how long should they be punished for?
See, and that's another thing, this whole cancel thing. I think being canceled, instead of like canceling people like collectively, like, oh, we need to all get together and cancel. How about you make that decision for yourself? Like last night, in the T-Pain Lil Jon battle, T-Pain played R. Kelly's "I'm a Flirt." Well, he played his verse on R. Kelly's "I'm a Flirt," but everybody in the chat was like, "Oh, too bad we can't enjoy this. Too bad we can't." I said, "Fuck y'all." What?
Bye, AJ.
We recording. Bye. So I'm like, who cares? I'm enjoying it. What you mean? Okay, damn, 28. You know what I'm saying? But that don't. I'm not going around telling everybody else like, yo, you bugging if you stop playing R. Kelly. Like, he's not an artist that I listen to regularly. But if R. Kelly song come on and I like the song, I'm not going to kill myself because I enjoyed the song.
His songs take on a new meaning for me. It just fucks everything
up. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was never like, oh, I'm a listen to. Like, there's certain songs that I like, and then there's certain songs that have meaning to me more so because, you know, funny shit between me and Aunt. But like outside of that, like, I'm not. You know, I was never really let me sing AJ nothing, but like things. I was never really like, oh. You know what I mean? That's a song that I need to sing. Nah, don't get me wrong. There's some Aaliyah songs that I like, but when I went back and actually looked into the songs that I like, the ones that was like, you know, hitting toward the bullshit, they didn't make the list. And it wasn't because of the bullshit. It was just like I never really was big on that song. It never really did anything for me. You know what I mean? So it's not. It didn't really have that much big of effect on me with the whole canceling thing. But to each his own. But what we don't need to do is knock somebody else for their decision or for them being able to say, you know what, I do want to cancel or I don't want to cancel. You know what I mean? A lot of times people be like, oh, we're canceling this person, and then it's like, oh, you still watch that show or you still listen to this person and you judging me? Like, bro, I didn't make his mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm enjoying a piece of content or if I'm enjoying a piece of art, that doesn't make me make those mistakes. Like, that doesn't put his mistakes on me. That doesn't put that person's ill doing on me. You know what I mean?
Plus, they're not the only one who suffers.
Cool.
Like, when you put the Cosby Show off air, that's not just hitting Bill Cosby's pocket.
Exactly. Our good girlfriend Felicia Rashad, now she out here, you know what I mean? She might actually start looking her age soon.
Not if Debbie Allen has anything to do with it.
Listen, Debbie said, as long as I am on Grace, I got your back, sister. But the whole idea, though, of cancel culture, that's just like, did you read Well, That Escalated Quickly by Francesca Ramsey?
No, but I know who that is.
You said you what?
But I know who that is. She was at the Smart, Funny, and Black one I went to.
Okay. I thought you said no, but I have no idea who that is. I was about to say no. See, no. Out of all the people that I've named today, she should be one of the main people that you can identify.
She was the one that the white girls say thing, right?
Huh?
The things that white girls say. She's the one that started that trend.
Yeah, she did that. But in her book, she has a chat. Like, she talks about calling out and calling in. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's a big thing that we don't really do. We so quick to call people out for their bullshit, but it's like, okay, can we call them in and tell them why what they're doing is wrong, or why what they're doing can be viewed as problematic, or could you know, trigger or rub people the wrong way, or could be just, you know, downright not good for the world. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the times it's like, I don't want to say give them a chance before you cancel, but like educate them first, and then, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times it's just ignorance. A lot of times the reasons that we're canceling people, like, you know, somebody may say something ignorant about, for example, COVID. Somebody may say, oh, the people who are dying deserve to die, or something like that, or the people. So they may say something ignorant, and it's like, okay, so we just gonna cancel you, or we gonna call you in? Like, I feel like with the Gail and Kobe situation, immediately everybody was like, okay, we gotta cancel. Now, I do not agree with the conversation, the way that I seen it. I don't know how it was edited or whatever, but the way that I've seen it, I do not agree with how she was like, how it showed her pushing on Lisa Leslie to kind of try to find the answer that she wanted to hear or that worked better with her narrative, or the narrative that she was trying to highlight. You know what I mean? I don't agree with that at all. But when Snoop turned around and called her a funky dog headed bitch, whereas it's not the right thing to do, I wasn't necessarily upset with him because I felt like, the way that she was handling things was, or the way that she was pushing was just really, to me, offensive. You know what I mean? If I give you my answer, that's my answer. Don't tell me, oh, but you wouldn't see. Well, if I wouldn't see it, then why are you asking me?
Plus, wasn't he not even dead like 2 weeks at that point?
You know what I'm saying? He still got a faint little in him, and you want to be out here asking about like something,
But there's also the question of what time would you be able to actually ask that question?
I mean, like she said, like whatever happened, he was acquitted or he wasn't, whatever. The shit was handled, and the parties involved were obviously satisfied with the handling of it because there was no big fuss about it. If they weren't, they would have tried to, I'm not even gonna say there wasn't no big fuss about it. I didn't follow the fucking story, to be honest. But if I think that like they settled or something like that, but even still, like if you choose to settle, that means that you're okay, fine. I'm going to take whatever this is.
I don't think that's how it goes.
What?
Well, really think about it. If I'm going up against Kobe, Michael Jackson, whatever, they have the money to do that, to stretch that whole thing out much longer than I can. And that girl was a stripper, whoever the hell she was. I don't think she had either the money to go to court for a rape trial or money for a civil trial to really go against Kobe, much less the NBA. Because let's not forget, Kobe was in his prime when he was doing that. He had the money to fuck her life up and make it probably like Monica Lewinsky, where your whole life is going to be known for that one fucking thing.
Doing that, like you know that you did that.
So, I'm not saying he did it. I don't know. I wasn't there. But still, that's the whole issue, and that's why I brought up the court of public opinion. You're not physically there, but you hear enough where it feels like the details are factual. And from that, of course, he got acquitted, he paid her off, whatever happened, and then he completely recovered his whole persona. He wasn't the big-time asshole anymore, he was the lovable NBA player who was one of the best that there is, with only probably LeBron or maybe Michael Jordan being one of those main people in this generation that he could compare to. Not counting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and those people because I don't really know them that well. I think I lost my train of thought. I was done. I'm not really sure.
Well, either way, like Lisa said, the situation was handled, and I didn't hear any much else of people complaining about all this, like the people who were, affected by it. There wasn't much else said about it, or you know what I mean. You ain't do. I mean, I don't know what the procedures were, but the man ain't here. And not only the man ain't here, he left behind a whole ass family who's still thinking. You know what I mean? Who's like freshly grieving him, and you ready to just bash him like, yo. I don't know if there's a right time to have that type of conversation, or maybe there isn't a right time to have the conversation because maybe you should have had the conversation prior to. I mean, you given interviews before, so why are you waiting till now to bring it up? You know what I mean? Bring it up before. Talk to him about it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not satisfied with the accusation, if there's still people who aren't satisfied with the accusations, all right, well, listen, let's figure out how we can talk about it.
I mean, he had a whole Oscar campaign when he got that award. It would have been the perfect time for that kind of question.
I agree. I mean, I'm pretty sure people would have been like, yo, why are you bringing it up now? But I'd rather you bring it up around the time when he's getting an award than the time when he's dying. I'd much rather that. But where I was going with that, the call out and call in. So apparently Jada Pinkett Smith had called in Snoop Dogg when I didn't see the episode. Because honestly, I stopped caring. Like, I genuinely stopped caring. Once Gail came out and was like, the way it was edited was this, that, and the third, da da da. Then when I seen that they made peace with each other, they had their little, I apologize, okay, well I accept your apology, I apologize for that. All right, cool. To me, that's done. I don't need that. I don't care anymore. Not even that I care that much about it, but it's just like so either way, the point that I was making was that there's a call out and there's a call in, and I think you have to give people an opportunity to be called in before you cancel them, because sometimes it's just off of ignorance. I didn't know that my actions would be, would have this effect on this person. I didn't know that my actions would cause this type of trigger or this type of trauma for such and such. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just ignorance. Like with those musicians who were saying that fucked up shit about them dark skinned people. Now, me personally, I'm good on all y'all. I wasn't big on your music in the first place to be like, ooh, this is a loss for me. You feel what I'm saying? But if I was, and I heard that, I'm alright. I'm alright. I mean, I'm okay with us calling these people in and saying like, listen, this is why this is offensive to us, blah 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 blah. But either way, me personally, I'm good. I'm good on you. But I agree that you should be given a chance to be educated on why, what you said was so offensive or what you did was so problematic before being canceled. Because if they say like, yo, this is what you did, this is why it was a problem, and you like, okay, but it's still fuck all y'all, then it's like, all right, cancel. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, all right, you stand on it. Stand on that. That's the hell you want to do for? By all means. I'm ready. Cancel. Hit the button.
Are you scared of that at all? As when you do your comedy career and start doing stand-up and they recording it, looking at old tweets and all that?
Funny? I've been feeling like that lately. But it hasn't been a fear of, it's been more of like a liberating feeling. Because at first it was like, that was my worry. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Because, I have my since I've had that situation with white women, I'm not a fan of white women. I'm not a fan of them. I mean, it's not to say, they're all bad. It's just to say that I've had an experience that immediately makes me feel on guard. You know what I mean? I guess it's a traumatic response to it was a traumatic response to what happened, and then from what happened, it opened my eyes up to many other situations that I overlooked, and I charged it to being, oh, I just have a bad attitude, that's why that happened. And it's just like, yeah, you got a bad attitude, but it still could have been a little different. You feel what I'm saying? So I was concerned. I'm like, I'm gonna have to like alter my content, I'm gonna have to alter this or whatever, I'm gonna have to find a better. Then I just realized, like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to not be 100% myself on the stage. If I feel like I want to talk about a topic that may be taboo, I just need to figure out a way to talk about it where it can be understood. Not tolerated, but understood. You know what I'm saying? And that's because what I've learned is just because I think it might be received wrong, or just because, like, case in point, last night I was on live, right? And I was talking about like odd sexual experiences that I've had in my past. Don't know, but we started talking about like buying. We were talking about like people who buy panties, and then it just went from there to like me talking about different sexual experiences that I've had in my past, right? And a couple of people that came in the room, one of them was like, I I knew him to be a youth minister, but this was years ago, so he's probably like a minister now, like, he's probably out there. But when he came in, I was like, you better get out of here, like, I'm talking some crazy shit. But then once I signed off or whatever, and like was sitting there reflecting, I'm like, yo, what if he wanted to hear the crazy shit that I was talking? What if that was his escape? You know what I mean? What if, okay, you get some people who, all right, I gotta be prim and proper all day. I gotta be this type of example all day. But I have this dark side to me, and I don't get to explore that. So if I see somebody talking about this dark side, talking about something that entices this dark side, yeah, let me go and see this dark side. Let me go and watch this live and see she's talking about this, that, and third. Because maybe I can't be that way, but I can enjoy the content. I can enjoy the jokes and just take, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Take it for entertainment and then keep it moving.
Yeah, live vicariously.
Right, living vicariously. So that's where, and because there was a couple of people that came in, and I'm like, no, get out. And then one of them was my little cousin, and I'm like, yeah, girl, you better get out. You don't want to hear what I'm talking about. But then, like, me and her, like, you know, I thought back to certain conversations that we had, and it's just like, you know, she has this outward appearance of, like, I don't want to say innocence, but like she's, you know, sweet. I want everybody to win. I'm happy. Da, da, da. But she's still, you know, a girl. So she still has, you know, certain sexual feelings. And then we be talking, and she might say something about, yeah, because, you know, then something about her being in a sexual situation. And I'm like, girl, what? So maybe, you know what I mean? So it's like, just because they're, you know, a certain way to the outer world, that doesn't mean that they can't enjoy the dirty comedy that I bring. Mm-hmm. And then what really pushed me further into the whole, I'm just going to be me when I go up there. I'm going to talk about what I want to be, or when I talk about what I want to talk about, is because when I watched that Dave Chappelle thing, the one? Mark Twain,
I forgot to finish that.
Oh yeah, it was good. Like the parts with Dave, and then Neil Brennan, he killed his shit. But as I was looking in the audiences, there were a lot of old white women and all of his audiences, and I'm like, well, why? You know, he don't really. I'm not saying that he caters to them, but he's still able to be himself and say, like, you know, this is what I'm going to say, and if you're offended, then you're offended, but keeping it a buck, them white women, they know what they was going there for. You know what I mean? The white people, period, they knew what they were going there for. So it's like, you're not going to be offended. You're going to, you know, what is that?
A little shock pen.
Why?
Migraines and also jaw tension.
Okay.
It helps. It doesn't fix the problem, but it alleviates it. It's like the main reason I would actually keep my hair properly cut.
Okay, never seen that before, but I'm like, okay, I know that's doing something.
Because usually by this time I'm home, so nobody has to see it, but it happens at night. Because being on the screen too much, after some point, it's just going to give you headaches.
Yeah, I can believe it. I can believe that's why I'm on my screen. I'm getting to the point now where I actually use my glasses when I'm on my phone.
Look at you, little by little.
But yeah, it's just like you these people know what they come. They know they come in to see a comedy show, and they know that comedians are, you know, vulgar. Some, you know, depends on, unless it's an advertised clean show. Mm-hmm. You know, you're gonna get some cursing. You know, you're gonna get maybe some dick jokes, maybe some vagina jokes. You know, maybe some inappropriate, dark humor jokes that's gonna make you be like, I can't laugh at that in front of other people, so I'm gonna just remember what they said so that I can laugh when I get home and I'm in the bathroom. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you know what the fuck you're signing up for at this point. That's how I'm looking at it. You know what I mean? I'm coming here to tell these jokes, tell these stories, and you know that you're coming here to listen to these stories. You don't have to like them. You know what I mean? But this is what I'm putting out there, and you'd be surprised at who actually likes that shit. That's really what's been getting me, is like, I keep saying that, like, you'd be surprised, because like there's really a fucking audience for almost everything. Mm-hmm. So I decided I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about anything that I'm not versed enough to have a conversation in. I probably won't talk about politics. I'm not that well versed in politics. You feel what I'm saying? If I can find an angle to make that to make something political funny, sure. But I'm not gonna sit there and hammer this shit in your head, because I don't know nothing about that shit. I look like
that's a whole genre within itself.
Exactly. You can go to fucking, who is that? Bill Maher. You go to him for that. Like, Trevor Noah, I ain't got it for you. DLP, go to them. Me? You don't get these dick jokes. But yeah, no, I'm not going. I'm not going to censor myself like that in that way. And I said that last night, and I got on live, and after I kicked those two people out the out my live, and then like the wine really started the last couple wine was really kicking in. It was just like, well, fuck it, let's talk about it then. You know. So yeah, I'm with the shit. I'm cool to talk about all my bullshit. But
Let's get into the wrap up portion. Any recommendations for this episode?
I watch Dave, and I love Dave. I love Dave. Do you watch Dave?
No, but they started calling it the white version of Atlanta. I don't know if that's apt or not.
I can see that. I can see that. See, I'm a big fan of Dave's period. Like, I love his music.
Lil Dicky, I think his name is, his rap name.
Yeah, I love his music. Like, me and my best friend, we'd be listening to, like, a couple years ago, he came out with a 10-minute long song. That was our shit, bro. We loved that song. It was like a conversation between him and, like, his one-night stand hookup. And, like it starts with them having sex, and then after they finish, she's just like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna get comfortable. And he's like, oh, you're gonna stay here? And, like, I mean, they start having a conversation, you know, about, like, what do you do? And then they start talking about, basically, they're on the opposing end of everything. Like, she's like, oh, and, you know, people breed animals to eat. And he's like, well, you know, if you don't have to chase it to get the food, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like one of those type of things. And, like, he's got his little homeboy Brain. I'm gonna send it to you, because that shit had me dying. But, like, Brain is like this little brain on legs, and he comes out and he starts talking, and he says something, and he referenced Pangea, and she was like, what? He was like, this bitch don't know about Pangea. I was fucking out.
Pangea the landmass.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what? A rap song mentions fucking Pangea. Like,
I'm so lost.
I'm gonna send it to you. Bro. It was the funniest, man. Let me see if I can access this again without losing you.
Mine's gonna be Unorthodox, the Hasidic Jew miniseries on Netflix.
No, Netflix. Is that a documentary or is it?
No, it's a 4-part series. So 1 hour. No, it's scripted.
Okay.
I only saw episode 1, but I really like it.
What's it about?
Okay, the basics of it is a girl named Esty, real name Esther, is marrying into a really Hasidic Jewish family, which is very traditional, big fuzzy hats, curls, and everything. Mm-hmm. And she decides.
You said marrying into it?
Well, she's Jewish herself, but I don't know.
She's not ethnically.
Yeah, I don't know if she's like Seinfeld, Seth Rogen Jewish, going to a different kind of Jew or not. It's very early, so I'm not 100% sure. Plus, I don't know how a Hasidic Jewish woman act, because who gets to interact with Hasidic Jewish people that much?
Right.
So, her thing is she marries into this family, and that's after all she goes through to try to impress the mother, because Esther's issue is her mother upped and left from Williamsburg, Brooklyn, off to Berlin. Mm-hmm. Her dad is kind of selfish and maybe a little bit special. So she was raised by her grandmother and her aunt, who both are not like seen as high value or high class in the Jewish society. So when it comes to her partner Yancey or Yancey, something with a Y sound, his mother's kind of about the thing, but her son liked her, so they let it go. But problem is, for the whole first year, she wasn't getting pregnant or anything, so that kind of made things awkward. And then something happened that they haven't gone into that made her up and leave him and the whole Hasidic community and fly off to Berlin. So that's what's covered in part 1. And she's also pregnant, so they're trying to hunt her down and bring her back.
Did you watch that? I don't remember. I want to say maybe it was on Netflix a while ago. It was on something, but it was a documentary about the Hasidic Jews in Brooklyn.
It was on Netflix. That came out earlier this year. I didn't see it though.
This year?
I believe so. Yes.
No, this was old. This had to be like a while, like a year and some change ago.
It definitely was. If it wasn't this year, it was definitely late last year. Because I
No,
didn't
this
even.
the one that I'm talking about was a while ago, and the girl she was trying to like leave her husband. Like it talked about different people, but one of them was this wife. She was trying to leave her husband, and like he kept like trying to make it hard for her. So like they would have the court. Oh, pillow talk. They would have like the court. Um, it was just making it hard. And at one point, they tried to like she would ride her bike. They tried to like hit her off her bike. Like they came up and like hit her off her bike. She fell and stuff. Like they was like it was crazy. It was crazy. I don't know. It was crazy.
Ooh, that reminds me. Why I'm looking for this. Did you watch the self-made Madam C.J. Walker thing or no?
I did. I did.
I couldn't. It was it. I couldn't. Something about it just made me feel so. Maybe it's because Arlene or whatever the light skinned one is, she was just around too damn much.
But you know what? The thing about that is I didn't like how it was sensationalized.
That.
Like I mean, not sensationalized. Like okay, so Addie Monroe was based off of what was her name? Allison Monroe. Allison Malone. Something Malone.
Mm-hmm.
And see, it's hard to watch something like that when you got a little bit of knowledge on what really happened. You know what I mean? Like there's this. All right, so I listen to Karen Hunter's podcast. Shout out to Karen Hunter.
She's a publicist.
No, Karen Hunter. She's a journalist, I guess. She has a radio show. Like she works on a radio show, and
Oh yeah, I don't know who this is.
Yeah, no, I like her. Like,
stop being niggardly, and nine other black people need to stop doing.
What happened?
Reading one of her book titles on "Stop Being Niggardly" and 9 other things black people need to stop doing.
Is it? That's funny. I should probably read it.
This is from 2010, so it's out.
Yeah, no, she I enjoy her podcast, and like she be having like little like we're gonna read this book, and she's really into reading, so like she'll give a lot of book recommendations. So there was one book that when I first started listening to her podcast, she was finishing up. It was like the first Black Millionaires or something, and they talked about the lady Allison Malone or whatever her the person in real life that the fictional character was based off of. Basically, she was like the first millionaire. And the way that they played it in the movie, like she, first of all, if you look her up, she was not light skinned.
Annie Malone.
You see it?
Yeah, I'm looking on it on my second screen.
Yeah, she
don't look light skinned.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, she kind of do, but she's kind of like in a
not in the like where she looked mulatto.
She look what she reminds me of. What is the one who sat on the bus? What is her name again?
Rosa. I agree. You're talking about Rosa Parks, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she looks like Rosa Parks. Like she looked like maybe she was like her great or her grandmother.
I would say maybe grandmother, auntie,
maybe. Like, yeah, grandmother esques, But yeah. So basically, that whole idea of like Madam C.J. Walker having it bad because of in that aspect that wasn't how it was in real life. So me knowing little things like that, it made it hard to kind of enjoy it all the way. But then naturally, like the way that the story was written, it was written to kind of make her seem like she persevered through all of the shit, like everybody coming down on her type thing. Like that whole, did you get to the scene with her and who was it? The light skinned dude. I read his book, but I get the
light skinned dude. Which one?
The Boys. It was.
Some light skinned people in this.
It was one of them, but he basically they had a moment where like she came into their little conference and she jumped up on the stage and was like, "Listen, this is what we trying to do."
Oh, Booker T. Washington.
Yeah, Booker T. Washington. I'm like the way they wrote it is like, wow, Okay, cool. But I'm kind of want to know, like, is that really how their situation, their dynamic played out? Knowing how they sensationalized the whole light skin thing, and people want to look like me and they want to have this nice hair like me. Like, it makes me question how much of that Booker T. Washington scene was kind of like doctored up to make it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
Like,
why they made sure in the title said inspired by, instead of making it a clear biopic.
right. But still, I don't like that because after it was said and done, you sign on to Facebook or you sign on to social media, and everybody's like, "Oh, I didn't know this about her, and I didn't know this about her," and it's like, bro, of course you didn't know that because you didn't do the research, and even still, you just believing off of what you see off of, you know what I mean, something that it was, sensationalized, like they painted and doctored it up for you and not giving you all of the facts, but y'all ain't even smart enough to say, let me go and do the research on my own and look to see how much of this was real shit.
And the sad thing is, now that this is made, you probably won't see another Madam C.J. Walker thing come out for 10, 20 years.
Ain't nobody gonna be thinking about her, which is sad. But I definitely once the library is open back up, I need to go get that book about the first Black millionaires because I want to know more about it. But yeah, it was good. It was entertaining.
I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah, no, it was a good one and done. To say that you did, that was it. Because I don't think I would either.
Cause even when it comes to performances, it wasn't all that.
I agree. I mean, Blair Underwood looked really good in his suits, but that was it.
I'm still not over the fact that at this point in her career, Octavia Spencer still got to argue about her salary.
Don't tell me she had to argue about salary on this.
Yes, LeBron James had to intervene for her to get a proper salary.
They gonna stop fucking playing her, yo.
Her agent needs to stop playing her. That's what needs to happen.
She gonna have to, yeah, something gonna have to give, okay? Because I actually really enjoy Octavia Spencer.
It's a running gag at this point that somebody's gonna come in who's not her agent that's gonna help her get the pay she deserves.
It's just like, okay, is the agent still getting a cut? Because you need not to be. Matter of fact, you know what you get a cut of? You could get your percentages off of the originally negotiated price that you came in. So if you got me in at what? I don't know what the prices be, what, $500K? Then you get your little couple of percents out of that $500K. Now LeBron done came in and got me a couple of mil. We gonna take the mil, but we gonna break you off of the $500K. Your pay is based off of that. Your pay is based off of the deal that you was able to negotiate. Now LeBron, this nigga came in here and got me some mills. I'm gonna give you your little cut from the $500K, and then we gonna take the rest of that over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's not making no sense.
I mean, if Monique was smart, she would have used that information to try to bolster her case.
True.
But let's not go into Monique and her fight for money, because that's.
And I'm a big Monique fan. Like, I've always been, like, since I was young, a big Monique fan.
I still in my mind keep thinking to myself, how much did you think he was really gonna get though?
But see, here's the thing: people come in with the okay, so was it Joe Budden podcast I was listening to, and they were like, well, ain't nobody really checking for Monique. Da, da, da. Bitch, I am, and I have been. Like, so if I know I am not the only person that's out here like, dang, I want to see a Monique. So they're like, who really wants to see a Monique? Bitch, me.
Didn't she have a thing come out on Showtime or Stars?
I don't know if it came out yet, but I know that it's her. It's supposed to be like Monique and Friends.
Yeah, Monique and Friends.
I just sent you a link to the YouTube of the song.
Oh, it comes out on the 14th.
Okay, on that one.
Or is it available now? It's on Showtime.
Okay.
I forgot about it though.
I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. But I've been keeping up with her for the most part. I follow her on socials and stuff. But I've always been checking for Monique. My sister could tell you, like, I am a big Monique fan. Like when it came to her stand up, and this is before.
Oh, it then came out in February.
You say it came out already?
In February.
Oh, it looks like I got something to watch tonight with my wine.
No, you're drinking now.
Man, let me tell you, I done bought quarantine weed twice before the actual quarantine started. Now I'm like, I don't have no quarantine weed money, so I'm just like out here in these streets bad. So my best friend's like, yo, pull up, I got you or whatever. So he comes out, like I said, he comes out and gives me some weed. Bruh, when I tell you that is the nastiest, that weed it's still downstairs. I don't never keep weed that long. Bro, when I tell you, it just don't. There's no point to even smoke it. So yeah, no, I just been drinking. For some reason, Aunt decided when he was bringing me like quarantine stuff, he bought me 2 big ass bottles of wine, and I'm like, bruh, do you pay attention to me at all? Because I told you I don't really drink. I much rather smoke, but the thing is, now that I've been drinking, I've been talking crazy reckless. So I just, I get tipsy and I just be talking shit. I talk shit to people. I get in his text messages and I start talking shit to him. Like I get on Instagram Live, I be trolling. Like it's,
Oh, let's hope you don't have to have an intervention.
Nah, it's not that, because you know what? I don't like it. I don't like the way I feel after. Like this morning when I woke up, bruh, before I had my coffee, I had 3 full cups of water because the bitch was thirsty and dehydrated, bruh. I can't live like this. I can't live like this. Then on top of that, after I was tipsy last night, typically when I drink, back when I used to drink, I had a thing. You drink at the club, you party, woo hoo hoo. On the way home, you stop, you get something to eat. Okay? Now, when I'm smoking, when I'm smoking, it's like, okay, I can have something, real food. I can have an actual meal, or I can enjoy maybe some salt, some sodium-filled snack, or maybe sometimes I want just something sweet. You feel what I'm saying? When I'm drinking, I don't want nothing sweet. I want a fucking meal. I want some ribs and some collard greens. Like I'm like that's the type of hunger that I get, and I don't have time for that. Okay, I don't have time for that. I don't cook enough to have that type of appetite. So no, I can't do this drinking shit. That's why I'm tired now, because my body still knows, bitch. You gotta wake up early so that you can get some of this day. But if you going to sleep at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, how much of this day you trying to get, bitch? Let no. Yeah, I was out here last night. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I was on live for 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yes.
You usually do like a good 10, 20, 30 minutes and then you done.
Exactly. That bitch, I looked up at the thing. I said, oh, it's a timer right here. I said, I'm about to stop. I said, should I restart it? The people in the room was like, yeah, we'll be here. I'm like, well, shit, I guess I'll come back then. So, yeah.
Alright, now for the quote of the episode, so then you can get to your nap time.
Shit, yeah, you hear that one. I need a snack.
Me start or you start? Want me to start ahead for you?
Yeah, you go ahead. You the one that be prepared.
I'm sort of prepared. I think my quote is more so advice in a way, and let me try to get it right before I say it though. Always be aware of whether you're trying to talk yourself into something or talk yourself out of something, and who you go to for both instances.
Run that back.
Always be aware of when you're trying to talk yourself out of something or talk yourself into something, and who you go to for both instances.
That's a very important thing. Knowing who you're going to. Definitely. Because some motherfuckers, you be like, nah, nigga, I need you to talk me out of this. This is not okay. I know that I can feel it. I need a sound ear to say don't do it. And you sitting there like, nah, you probably should just jump off the bridge. It ain't really gonna hurt. Just one quick splat. Alright, I have one. It's the first one that just came up, looked like Google, but hard times don't create heroes. It is during the hard times when the hero within us is revealed. That's Bob Riley.
Why did I start to hear that Spider-Man song?
Probably. Oh, and let me give you, speaking, since we're talking about superheroes, let me give you one more, okay? If you're good at something, don't do it for free.
That's from Joker. That's what
I have to live by that one. I have to keep reminding myself that. But you know what? Joker be coming with the fire. I love me some Joker. He ain't even as... You know what? I'm going to say this before we but after watching Candyman, what I've learned is that I don't have a desire to watch all of these scary movies. However, I do have a desire to know the backstory of all of the villains in the scary movies.
Well, it's like what most people say, it's the villain that makes the movie, not the hero.
I agree. And I think that in me going through that motion, me and AJ watching these, obviously not child-friendly movies.
She can handle
it. The theme that I keep trying to push for her is that, okay, the bad person is bad for a reason, and it's typically because they've been hurt. Hurt people hurt people.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to her when it came to that Will Smith Tom Holland movie.
Oh, that cartoon movie.
Yeah, with the pigeons.
Yeah, so she's pretty much starting to gather an understanding of that from us watching, certain scary movies. And Candyman really helped when she got to see when they repeated, because I told her the story first of why he became the Candyman, but when they repeated the story in the movie as we were watching, she's like, oh shit, you were right, mommy, I get exactly what you mean. So I want to see more villain backstories. But alright, we can wrap it up because my titties is falling, so I need to go pick them up.
Okay, so this has been another episode of Getting Ignorant with It.
This is the remote version. I hope the audio is decent.
Yeah, the video froze like 10-20 minutes ago.
Well, I still see you fine.
I know, but you're just straight up like some hand like up here, teeth come out. I'm like, okay, it works.
Oh man, sucks. Well, I see you fine.
Because I have the technology.
Which I will click on you. I will flip this motherfucking laptop closed so fast.
No shade.
I have the technology. Technology that, you know what? Let me watch my mouth. I almost forgot who you was. About to give you a couple of ant bars.
Oh no, I don't deserve that much.
Yeah, you know how to talk to that nigga.
You publicize it too, so I know there's no shame.
That's him. I accept the tags. I mean, listen, it is what it is. I am who I am.